Welcome to, this should say part 3 of part 2.6 part 1, rational functions and their graphs. Our central questions are the same they were as the last two videos. What is a rational function and how do you graph a rational function? So, we're going to talk about horizontal asymptotes. Last time we talked about vertical asymptotes. So, horizontal asymptote is the line y equals b of a graph of a function f if f of x approaches b as x increases or decreases without bound. So that means as your graph f of x approaches that line, your graph will go on infinitely or negative infinitely. So locating a horizontal asymptote. If f is the rational function below f of x, and a sub n is not 0 and b sub n is not 0, the degree of your numerator is n, the degree of your denominator is m. So there are three situations. First one is if n is less than m, your x-axis, or when y equals 0, is your horizontal asymptote. If n equals m, the line y equals a sub n over b sub m is your horizontal asymptote. And your third one, if n is greater than m, the graph of f has no horizontal asymptote. I would either take a snippet of this or write it down somewhere so you have it. You can pause the video and do that now. So in this first example, you want to look, you have n, which is your numerator exponent, and m, which is your denominator exponent. So n is 2 and m is 2. So this means we have n equals m. If we go back to our rules, if you have n equals m, then the line a sub n over b sub m is your horizontal asymptote. So that means we need to look at a sub n, which is your coefficient, so you have 9, over b sub m, which is 3. So your vertical or horizontal asymptote is at the line y equals 3. So y equals 3 would be your horizontal asymptote. The next example, n is 1, m equals 2. So that means n is less than m. If we go back to our rules, if n is less than m, the x-axis, or when y equals 0, is your horizontal asymptote. So this means you automatically know y equals 0 is your horizontal asymptote. So when y equals 0. In our last example, n is 3 and m is 2. So this means n is greater than m. We go back to our rules. When n is greater than m, the graph of f has no horizontal asymptote. So the graph has no horizontal asymptote. Make sure you complete the questions below and then work on your homework and come to live class.